You are now listening to the Friends of Rugby podcast. Relax your anus. Balls. Thick thighs. Camille Shat. Where's his neck? Eddie Jones. You fuck, mate. We're nice now. And we're recording.
I'm alive.
How you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
Cold.
Freezing. Yeah.
Minus 40.
Yeah, scary, eh?
Yeah.
I think we just doxed ourselves.
How fucking stupid do you feel when you wake up in the morning here? Minus 40.
Yeah.
You know, why did you do this to yourself?
Have you been to Wales?
I would rather have Wales weather.
It's half of one, dozen of the other kind of situation.
Like, yeah, you don't see the sun, but...
Yeah, I guess you can't go outside here because it's genuinely dangerous.
Yeah. So, yeah, you don't see the sun, but there's a trade-off, though.
Yeah, you can't
You don't
actually go
die.
outside. Yeah.
You're not going to go out in Wales in a hoodie and then die.
I don't have to religiously take vitamin D tablets in Wales as much either.
Because if you go out there in a sweater,
Yeah.
right now where we are,
Yeah.
you'll die.
Oh, yeah.
You'll die.
Yeah, you will die. Or one of your fingers will fall off or your ear will fall off.
So, Frank, what's the date today so the people can know?
Yeah,
When are we recording this?
I said to you, Steve, we need to be more organized at the start, and I said we need dates.
Need
I don't know what the
organization.
date is. I don't know what it is. It's
the 14th.
Thank you. January 14th.
Don't worry, I'll do your homework for you.
Thanks. I've got notes, just not the date.
It's like the most important thing you've complained about.
I know.
They're not going to know when we're recording, man.
It's okay, well, we've done it, all right? Relax.
You come to me with this issue.
Yeah.
You feel safe, and then I blast you on the podcast.
You caught me off guard. A couple of fan questions.
Fans, plural.
No way.
The Kiwis came for us.
Oh, we are rude about them.
The Kiwis finally came for us.
Yeah.
I knew it was going to happen sooner or later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any attention is good attention, right?
Yeah, I guess so. No such thing as bad publicity.
No. And then in true White Boys Doing a Podcast style, we're going to talk about conspiracies at the end.
Oh, yeah. Let's
I'm
get some
excited for that.
conspiracies.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. So where do you want to start here? You want to look at some of these games?
Yeah, let's do it sort of chronologically. So we start on Friday with Northampton Bayonne.
Now, I didn't watch this game because I was working.
Me too.
Because it was on at like noon.
Yeah, me
on
too.
a Friday, which is kind of weird.
Yeah, well, it's not weird for Europeans.
I guess they can watch it after dinner.
That's right.
I didn't even think about that.
It's weird for it sucks for us. It's not weird for us.
Yeah, it sucks for us.
Yeah. But I mean, I think the fun, happy thing is Northampton is still playing good, right?
I think Bayonne felt they can take a loss here.
Yeah.
I think the structure for the Champions Cup's really weird.
Yeah.
I think everyone gets a participation trophy and gets into the knockout stages.
Yeah.
So like teams can take. So I think what we saw this weekend was a few teams not taking it too serious.
Maybe. And I think that was the criticism of this format, is it dilutes it. We all just want the last few stages.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a few teams here that were never going to make the knockout stages. And I think we're starting to see that effect now,
Yeah.
right?
Because I think Bayonne is aren't they on 2 games on the hop in the Champions Cup? I think they've won 2 games in a row.
Yeah.
So they could take a loss.
Yeah. They could put out a less first team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think I was reading an article. It's like Connacht has lost 2 games, or they've lost 3 games now.
Yeah.
In the Champions Cup, and it's like, oh, their knockout stage hopes are in doubt now.
Yeah.
So they still have a chance.
That's ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah. So it's just like, okay, like how does this work? I don't know. It changes so much.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But yeah, what do you think about that Northampton win?
I'm just happy to see them keep playing well. Like I'm really enjoying Northampton right now. I'm liking
Everyone is.
Alex Mitchell and Finn Smith kind of narrative, and yeah, I think there's a lot of talk about them being the kind of England 9 and 10 axis. I don't think that'll happen for a first game in the Six Nations, but it could be cool to see. So yeah, lots of good things coming from Northampton.
I guess like Northampton like aren't a historically like good club.
They're always, I think they're always decent. Like they won the Premiership. I remember this because George North was playing for them at the time. So I remember them winning it a while ago, but they've definitely not been as strong as they had been in the last few years. So to see him like back on the top, I think the big game, obviously, as we talked about it a little bit, but was that Exeter Northampton game last weekend. That was one of the best club games of rugby I've seen, I think. And that they won that in Exeter in Sandy Park was really cool. So yeah, I'm kind of on the Northampton hype train at the minute.
I think everyone is.
Yeah, it's fun, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you good on that one?
I think so.
Yeah.
We've got a lot to talk about.
Yeah, we do.
So let's
we
just say nice things about Northampton and move on. Yeah.
Northampton, you guys are nice.
Yeah.
We like you.
We do.
This is the game. I think this was the game of the weekend.
Yes, this might take the rest
And
of the
it
podcast
started
to
at
talk about.
6 a.m. in the morning, and I only
Yeah.
caught the last 20 minutes of it.
Well, you caught the most spicy
caught the most
minutes
of it,
that
but,
game then. Yeah.
Yeah, the Exeter Chiefs and Glasgow. Now, I thought Glasgow were going to win this game.
I would have been surprised if you'd have told me that. I thought Exeter would win this.
Listen to the podcast last week.
Yeah, well, no, you predicted it. Yeah,
I
I
was wrong. but
But that's what we're going to talk about right now, because that final scrum.
Yeah.
Talk me through it.
How did you feel about that?
Well, so initially, I heard about it,
Mm-hmm.
right? I heard about it, and then someone was saying they TMO reviewed a scrum,
Mm-hmm.
and it was Glasgow scored a try to win the game off a scrum in the 80th minute, and it was an Exeter put in, and
Mm-hmm.
Glasgow stole the ball, and they scored and they won.
Yeah.
And then the TMO reviewed the scrum. This is what I heard before I watched it, right?
I've watched it. So
Yeah.
I'll get into it.
Yeah, and then my initial thought before seeing anything was, who TMO reviews a scrum? I've never seen that, so that sounds like some bullshit to me. Something's going on.
Yeah.
Some conspiracy theories are starting to form in my mind.
Yeah.
And then I read about it, right? I read that the flanker unbound before the scrum had finished, before the ball was out, picked it up.
Ferry, or whatever, isn't it?
Yeah, Ewan Ferry.
Yeah.
Ewan Ferry. And then he scored. And then I did what I should have done initially and fucking watched it. And then I thought he did unbind before the scrum was done.
Yeah.
Right? But there was another twist. And the other twist was, so had the Exeter 8.
Yeah.
So tell me what you think.
I can feel how people, like, even the commentators for this game were kind of cheesed.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I guess the ref is calling the games now.
Yeah.
So I didn't feel like that, but I can see how, like, if you were not cheering, like if you were cheering for Glasgow, how you could feel really robbed, because I would call this like forensic TMO.
Yeah. Like
they deep dive. They were like the ref was in there with a swabbing the scrum for semen, and like a CSI type shit to like find, like they had to dig deep to find that. Yeah, and it's just like, holy fuck, okay, guys.
Yeah.
Like that's a little bit of a, like, they were analyzing it. It was going through, like an AI bot was like scanning the scrum. It's just like, holy
some guy
shit.
with a UV light.
Yeah.
Do you ever see the movie Hot Fuzz?
A long time ago.
Okay, so in the movie Hot Fuzz, Simon Pegg's character thinks that there's murders going on in the town, right?
Yeah.
And the police don't take him seriously. They think he's a joke.
Yeah.
And then eventually goes on it about so much, the police chief is like, you sure you want to do a murder investigation? And when he does, it kicks off and they like go to town on the murder investigation. Rugby reffing has become like the lazy old cop. If you want me to take this seriously, I will. I will fine tooth comb this.
Because they did.
They did.
Like I said, they were swabbing the scrum for semen.
Yeah.
And it was black lights, and they had like the lab.
Yeah.
Like, and they found like that's how I feel. Like it was forensic TMO. That's the term. We're gonna keep that term.
All right. But even then, it didn't feel conclusive, right? It's still not clear to me who's in the right here.
Yeah, I felt like it was one of those calls where like it's just one of those rugby calls. Yeah. These happen all the time. It could go either way. It's just unfortunate it happened for the team you weren't cheering for, or you were, or fortunate it was the team you're for.
Yeah.
Like, that's just part of the game.
Yeah.
Like, and there's so much pressure on the ref to get a call right away.
That's what I didn't want to do today was ref bash, right?
Yeah, because the ref's got to make that decision, and everyone's like, oh, you're taking too much time with the TMO. I was like, okay, well, that's this. Oh, no, you made the wrong call. The call's wrong. Oh, fuck. Like, you can't.
They can't fucking win, can they?
They're like a player. A ref is like a player.
Yeah.
They fuck up. And they make the wrong calls, just like a player. Like, what was it? The game you were watching? Was it
Sale Stormers?
Yeah, where they're just fucking doing whatever.
And he throws a pass behind his head in his own try line, and Sale score off of it.
Yeah, so there's shit like that, right?
Yeah.
That's how I felt. You know, good for Exeter, too bad for Glasgow. If it went the other way, it would have went the other way. I thought Glasgow, like, they also kind of fell apart in that second half.
That is another thing I wanted to talk about with this game. Is it reminded me of the Wales-Fiji game in the World Cup, right? Where the Fijian player knocked it on. If he'd have caught it, they probably would have scored. No, they would have scored, and they would have won the game. and then you think it's come down to that one single mistake. It hasn't. A game is 80 minutes, and it's like when a player misses a kick, and their teammates will always defend them by saying, we are responsible. If we wanted to win that game, everyone else would have done something a little differently, done something a little better. So as much as it sucks that it came down to that one tiny thing, Exeter had, I felt like they deserved to win.
Well, it happened because that scrum happened because of a knock-on.
Right. Which is his mistake as well, right?
It's a mistake as well.
Yeah.
So you're already in that position because of a fuck-up.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and if you didn't want to be in that position, don't be in that position. It's kind of like MMA.
Yeah.
Like, don't leave it up to the judges.
Yeah.
Right?
Play well enough, convincingly enough, so that it doesn't come down to the wire.
Because, the ref is a variable.
Yeah.
And the ref's not perfect.
No.
And when you leave it in the hands of the ref, it's in the hands of the ref.
Yeah.
So you might not get what you want.
You make your own luck, eh?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I think we were quite mature in the end. I thought we were going to say Exeter deserved to win, fuck you, Glasgow or something.
Oh, well, just wait till we get to the Munster Toulon game.
Oh, yeah?
We have some ref and stuff to say about that, too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, then we'll get petty.
Yes, that's what I was hoping for. Maybe not. I like Glasgow. I wanted them to win, actually. I would have preferred them to win, but I just didn't think they had... I didn't think they could match Exeter physically.
No,
but they played really well.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Leon, Connacht?
I feel like...
I think we called this one both.
I think we did.
Yeah, I think Connacht just doesn't have the firepower.
No. Not as physically.
Which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
It's... Connacht's like... They only care when they're playing like Munster or Leinster, kind of.
Yeah.
Almost like it's kind of a letdown. Like you guys play, they play. I really like this team. I really love Connacht.
Yeah.
And it's really frustrating. I feel like they get up for only certain teams.
Yeah.
This is something I'm noticing.
Yeah.
I should say that for the conspiracy part later.
We can do weekly. It can be a weekly segment.
Connacht.
Just earmark that.
Who do they care about?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. And so I thought they could have won this game, but they just didn't have the firepower.
It's hard to be fired up week on week.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. So,
which is kind of a letdown, but because I was really wanting to I think Jack Carty, this was a game that he could have really stood out in. I just didn't think he did.
You're saying that because you think he's trying to put his hand up for the Island 10 shirt?
Yeah, because they're gonna go. Ireland's gonna go with. When I think of the 10 setup, they're going to go with experience and they're going to go with the future. Yeah. So, the two 10s that are going to be on the game sheet is going to be experience and the future.
Yeah.
So, it's going to be a young guy and a guy with experience.
Prendergast and...
No, I don't think it's going to be Prendergast. I think it's going to be Jack Carty for sure.
Right.
And it's going to be Jack Carty and it's going to be what is it? Which Burns is in Ulster? It's Billy Burns, right?
Yeah.
It's like someone like him, Jack Carty.
Mm-hmm.
Ross Burns injured. So it'll be something like that. It'll be kind of like a setup like that. They're gonna have an experience probably to relieve Jack Carty.
Yeah.
Not start. I think Jack Crowley.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jack Crowley will start.
Yeah.
And then if something happens, then someone's gonna an experienced guy's gonna come in and relieve him at the end.
Right.
So if Ross Byrne was healthy, I think that's the way it would go. That's just my prediction.
We talk about Irish 10s a lot.
Because there's just so many of them.
There's so many of them, so many good ones. And I egg you on as well.
Yeah.
Every time it comes up, I'm like, what do you think, Steve?
I love talking. I could talk about Irish 10s for a long time.
We've got a lot to get through, so let's just say it's going to be Jack Carty and be done with it.
Bristol and the Bulls.
I think Bulls are going to be potential winners of the URC, so I'm not surprised by that. I don't think Bristol are playing so well in the Gallagher Prem, so I'm not surprised by that result. Bulls are looking really good.
They have some injuries too in the front row.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
it looks like they got what I heard. I didn't watch this game, but I heard that they kind of got bullied in this game too.
I just watched the highlights. Yeah, I didn't watch this game, but yeah, I'm not surprised.
Munster beat Toulon.
They did.
I like this game.
We watched this game.
We watched it together.
We did, hand in hand.
This game kind of had a few stories in it too.
It did. I thought Toulon started a little better as well. And
they did. They came out strong off the gate. I was a little worried.
Yeah, and Munster haven't won a lot of games recently.
No, they needed this win.
They really did. And actually, in the end, it was a convincing win. I felt by just after the second half, it was all Munster. And I don't know what they're doing differently, because even at the start, Munster looked kind of like they have been in the last few weeks, a bit tired, a bit lackluster. But then what I like about Munster is they do have like a all-court game at the minute.
What kind of worries me about Munster is that like Peter O'Mahony was back on the field.
Yeah, he played well.
And the whole team was like, they felt different for the team.
Oh, okay.
It kind of like that Johnny Sexton kind of influence, like when he's on the field versus when he's not.
They play differently when he's there.
Yeah. So like his leadership was, there was a lot of things on this game, like Simon Zebo.
Simon Zebo had a decent game.
He had a game.
Yeah, he did.
I'm wondering, like, I'm pretty sure with all the injuries and stuff, he's going to be in the Ireland squad.
This isn't even his first comeback.
No.
So it's his second comeback.
Yeah, he's coming in with his new gut. He's got a little bit of gut.
It's actually, I thought he looked fatter before, and now he's lost a bit of weight again. So this is his second weight loss journey as well.
Yeah, so he's going to have a comeback, weight loss journey, new year, new me for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope it, because he's good. He played game. Gavin Coombs,
I was just going to say, had a good game.
Yeah, that try that he got disallowed was bullshit.
Yeah, there was a few of those this weekend.
That was a bad call.
It's kind of like what you were saying earlier, though. There are going to be 50-50s.
Yeah, but he didn't double move. He like reached out. Is that a double movement? That can't be a double movement.
You're right. I think you're right, actually, because there was clear grounding.
Yeah.
His body didn't move.
No.
And he just reached his arm out over the line and placed the ball, and it was clear as day
which
that he had
allowed,
done that,
right?
which is allowed, and you've seen that 100 times. So, yeah, actually, and I think it's sometimes the way that the TMO and the ref word things, and if the ref words things a certain way and the TMO contradicts them, or, the other way around or whatever, they get so jumbled up in the kind of flow chart of the rules that they forget that they're just watching a game of rugby, and it should be pretty obvious what happened. It wasn't a double movement, I don't think.
No, and I was really let down by that. Anyways, the game went the way I wanted the game to go.
Yeah, that's why I wouldn't be too upset if I was a Munster fan, yeah.
But like, oh man, that was an unfortunate call. That was frustrating. There's so many rules too, because like I'm watching rugby for a while.
Yeah.
It's a very complicated game to wrap your head around. It took me a long time.
Yeah.
It's not a very inviting game. No. For like new people that don't understand what's going on.
Don't you dare say rugby league. You don't say it.
Don't worry, I won't bring that up.
All right, cool.
Yeah, but that Gavin Coombs had a really good game.
Yeah, he did.
That Tom Ahern kid is a machine. He was all over there playing on the wing.
Yeah.
Like he's catching like crossfield kicks.
Yeah.
Like this kid is serious.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know how you're tired of hearing about the future.
Do you know what? I didn't want to bring it up, but it's like every time you watch Munster, I was like, this kid's the future of Ireland. And
yeah.
Can they not have a kid who's not the future of Ireland for a minute?
They just have so many kids.
They have so many. Just stop employing children.
And these kids are playing good.
Stop it. It's ridiculous. I'm sick of it.
Well,
no, they're good, though. They're good. I'm excited for them. But you know what, guys? Be realistic. The Ireland team is going to be Leinster and Peter O'Mahony. Okay? Relax. That's what it's going to be. So... don't worry about your children.
With Tom Ahern.
Maybe.
Just killing it.
No, he's not going to get a sniff. No chance.
He's fucking good.
There's 5 Leinster guys ahead of him.
He's putting up his hand.
And each of them have played 9 minutes of rugby this season.
Stormers sail this game.
This was a joke, wasn't it?
This game was fucking all over the place.
Yeah, it was funny.
It looked like a fucking MLR game.
It was silly.
Balls just going all over the place.
Chaos rugby.
What the fuck was going on here?
Yeah, I think Stormers nearly gave that game away, right?
They almost did at some point.
Yeah, there's a couple times, and then Sale got the ball in the last few minutes, and then decided to kick it away, and then someone knocked it on, and they got it back somehow again, and then they still kicked it away. The game management, they all look knackered, to be honest.
The game management was brutal.
It was terrible, wasn't it?
Right? Like they had like 19,000 chances at the end of this game to tie it.
Yeah.
And they just kept fucking up.
Yeah.
And they just made the worst decisions.
They did. Yeah.
Like, oh my God. Like they were
trying to carry it from behind their line at one point. In fact, I think that's how the game ended. Like they were behind Sale had the ball in their own try zone.
There was just like they give it away, kick it away at the end of the game when you need to have the ball in your hands. They were trying to do this kick chase, and then they were lucky enough that the Stormers were like, you know what, fuck it, you guys can have another shot.
We'll give you one more chance.
And then they still messed it up like Sale.
I think they were 7 points out though, so they would have only drew it even if they'd have scored a try with a couple of those chances.
I just never like the Stormers. I've never seen a team like try to give the team that's losing so many opportunities to win.
It's like they felt sorry for them. Have another go. Go on.
The team that's losing keep rejecting it. We don't want this
today.
today.
We're too tired.
Yeah, it was fucked up. Like it was just such an odd decision decision making. I think there was like a lot of young kids on sale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're also the future of Ireland.
The future of Ireland.
All the Sale players.
All the Sale players.
Yeah.
And then Leinster.
I wanted Stade Francais to put up more of a fight. Yeah, what are they third in?
I was actually surprised by this outcome. I wasn't thinking that. I thought Stade Francais was going to put up more of a fight.
I thought so too. I think
they got beat up.
Yeah, we watched this game as well, and I said to you, I think one of Leinster's strengths is they just don't let the other team play. They've got a really good smothering game. You know,
we're also not privy to top 14 squads.
We're not. That's
so I
true.
don't know what kind of what the level of squad.
Yeah.
They
Is it their first
Stade Francais
team?
Brought over?
We don't. Let's be honest. We're not experts on the French league, and we don't know the injury situation. We just know that Stade Francais are high in the league, and we should expect a good game. Mm-hmm. But we know Leinster reasonably well because we're URC fans.
I thought Leinster would win this game.
Yeah, I did.
But
too.
I didn't know they were gonna
Yeah. I was excited to watch a heavyweight fight, you know? I was excited to watch two of the biggest teams in their respective leagues duke it out, and Leinster just smothered them. Credit to them. They were so impressive to watch, but they make the games a little unfun to watch sometimes because they're so good at what they do, right? Having said that, some of the matchups, the two games they lost against Munster and La Rochelle the end of last season in the Champions Cup and the USC were heavyweight, really engaging games, right? So I hope that we get to the end of this, when we get to the knockout stages, we do see a few more of those kind of close.
Yeah, I don't want to see games. Blowouts like that.
No, I don't want to see it. But, whatever. They played really well, Leinster. Fair play to them.
Talking about a blowout. Wasn't so much a blowout, but Ulster, Toulouse.
Yeah, I'm sad for Ulster, but
I never
Toulouse
thought they were going to win this game.
I didn't either. Toulouse are quality, aren't they?
They're the team to beat in this Champions.
Them and Leinster right now, because we'll talk about what happened to Leicester not long ago.
Yeah.
And I'm sad that... Yeah, I agree. Ulster weren't going to win this game, I didn't think. But,
Sad it was at home, too, for them.
Yeah.
And then, Toulouse are just... They... I think DuPont put on a clinic in that game.
Yeah.
Fuck, he's good.
He's going away.
Yeah, it's going to be sad to see him go. He'll be back.
He'll be back.
He's going to be walking over that hill. He'll turn back at us and wave. And
why is he playing? Why is he doing it?
He wants a gold medal.
Right. That's so weird.
He wants to play. He wants to be an Olympian.
Why?
Because he's an athlete.
Yeah, but he's a rugby athlete.
He wants it all.
Why?
Because of the World Cup.
I don't get it.
He wants to win a world championship at rugby and something. If it's sevens.
Yeah.
If it's EA Sports Rugby 2023, he wants to be the champion at something.
Imagine being so competitive that your competitiveness bleeds out of your own sport into other things. I mean, it's still rugby, but it's rugby sevens is fucking Diet Cola of rugby, isn't it?
Well, I'd say league is the Diet Cola of rugby, but
what is sevens? The root beer? It's a poor
rugby sevens is like
imitation.
The saltine cracker. Of rugby.
Yeah,
I'm not the biggest fan of sevens.
Yeah, I like going to the sevens tournament, getting shit-faced, and not watching any rugby.
I think the problem with sevens is different for me because, in Canada, the sevens takes over the 15s program.
It does. It's almost feels like it's bigger here, doesn't it? Yeah.
So it's never going to do that in a place like Ireland or England or Wales, right?
No.
Right? It's always going to be a smaller. But here, this is where the focus goes into.
Yeah.
Is in the sevens program, and it kind of takes away from the 15s program in Canada. So I have a very bitter relationship with sevens when it comes to that.
I don't think you can put Rugby Canada's faults on sevens though.
No, the sevens World Tour setup is really good and beneficial for smaller unions like Canada.
Yeah.
Right.
And yeah.
It's just way more profitable. But anyways, besides that, Ulster,
sad.
Okay, in this game, your game.
My boys, Cardiff Harlequins. Cardiff being my boys, Harlequins including some of my former boys who betrayed us. Dylan Lewis scored a try against Cardiff. Talk about Judases. Jared Evans was just up in the booth on his phone, not even watching.
He wasn't watching.
My heart.
He's playing fucking Candy Crush.
Maybe it's because he was so sad, But
he didn't even care. He knew.
No, yeah.
It's my boys got this.
Yeah.
These fucking Cardiff douchebags. He's just playing Candy Crush in the box.
I know. It was. I'm glad.
There's some stories there were some guys on the Cardiff team.
Thomas Young playing well. Thomas Young always has a good game.
Yeah.
I really like him. I think he's consistently good. There's so many good back rowers. There's so many good Welsh back rowers that it's hard to get him into a team. He's a bit of a maverick as well.
Yeah.
You know? Like he's fast for a 7.
He gave you some Artie Savea vibes. That's how he's just fighting through
Yeah,
things, and
yeah.
he's just making these huge breaks. Like he was like taking the game for his own.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it gave me that kind of vibes. Nowhere near as good, but
Yeah.
like
How dare you?
yeah. But when I was like, yeah, he was very noticeable on the field.
Yeah.
Another guy, what was that winger? What's his name?
Mason Grady, maybe?
Yeah, he had a game.
He had a good game. Yeah. He's playing really well consistently.
Your fucking wish.com 10.
Tinus De Beer.
Yeah, he's fucking great.
He is, isn't he? What a little nugget of joy.
Yeah.
Do you know the story with that is Cardiff wanted to bring in a 10 because Jared Evans, formerly of Cardiff, now of Harlequins, left. And then Cardiff wanted to bring in Tinus De Beer, and the WRU stepped in and were like, you can't do that because we want to promote homegrown talent. And Cardiff were like, what fucking homegrown talent? They leave. We don't pay them enough money. So they were like, okay, fine, you can have Tinus De Beer. Fine.
They went to some fucking rugby bargain bin, found this guy.
And he's good, eh?
Yeah, he's good.
Consistent. He won a breakdown, man. Like he's doing everything.
Yeah, he's all. I really like. I enjoy watching him.
Yeah. He's good.
Yeah, he does.
He's kind of built like a flanker as well. He's got these big
he's a
python
stocky,
arms. Yeah.
He kind of reminds me of who's Glasgow's 10? Duncan.
You thinking of Duncan Weir? He's got the same build.
Yeah. This is a stocky little ogre.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I got time for Tinus De Beer. He's kind of. There's been a couple of games, and this is one of them where I felt like without him, that would have been a worse game for Cardiff. Like his presence is felt, same as Thomas Young. You know?
Is he Welsh qualified?
I have no idea, man. No idea.
But that's probably something.
You know,
if he keeps playing like he's playing.
No.
Oh man, I thought he was pretty good.
I mean, we don't have any. So Sam
guys have no
Costello
10s.
just got injured this weekend as well, playing for Scarlets against Claremont. So we don't have any 10s as far as I'm aware.
You got Sheedy. Was he injured?
No, he's not injured. He was just named by somebody, some journalist, I won't name and shame them, as the worst 10 in the Gallagher Premiership.
Yeah.
I thought that was a bit harsh.
I thought that was pretty harsh too.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah. I was like, ooh,
Yeah,
really?
it's rough,
like that?
eh?
Bad?
Yeah.
I think he has like the third or second most points, maybe, too,
Yeah.
in the Prem.
Yeah, what's this bullshit?
Yeah. I thought that was fucking weird.
That's well harsh.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think we should talk about Harlequins, though, because they won and they won convincingly. They played really well, actually.
Yeah.
I thought Don Brandt played well.
Yeah.
Marcus Smith didn't do as much line breaky shenanigans, but he had a solid game.
I thought he was all over the place.
He's everywhere, and he was doing everything
I thought he
should
really
have
was
been
putting his hand up.
doing. Yeah, he's quality. Danny Kerr had a good game.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how old is he? 58?
I don't know. Maybe is he trying to put up his hand still too?
I might
Did he officially retire from English rugby?
I have no idea.
Because I don't think he did.
No, I don't know. I think he does a bit of commentary.
I don't think he'll make it on the squad, though. I don't think he'll be in the Six Nations.
No, they got some
But he's
quality
good.
guys. He is good.
You're not going to be sad with Danny Kerr on your team.
Much like Simon Zebo, this would be his second or third comeback if he did get back in.
I want to see a comeback year. I want to see
Mike Brown, Danny Kerr,
yeah.
Simon Zebo.
Yeah, I want to see these guys like come out of the woodwork.
Yeah.
You know, step out of their coffins.
Emerge from the mist to save England.
Yeah, I want to see that. I want to see some swan songs. I want to see some.
Yeah.
I want to see some fantasy in the Six Nations this year. Like, make some dreams come true. Make it fun this year.
Yeah.
You know, it's the first year right out of a World Cup.
Mm.
You know, mix it up.
Yeah.
Do some stuff.
Rugby's back.
Today's games. Bath beat Racing 92.
Very happy about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm happy about that because I like the Bath story. They've been a bit crap for a number of years, and then Finn Russell has kind of changed them, and they seem more confident generally. So, yeah, good for Bath.
Oh, what's his name? The coach of Racing 92.
I don't know.
Used to be the coach of England. He came from Leinster.
Stuart Lancaster?
Yeah.
Oh, is he? Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's not having a good run.
Oh, they didn't have one with England either.
Yeah, so they got him. They're probably paying a lot of money to have him there because they got him from Leinster.
Yeah.
So, and it just haven't been having a good start to the season. I wonder what's going on there.
I feel bad for the guy on one hand because he every time he has been a head coach in England and in Racing, if they're not doing well, then
because he started this year.
Yeah, because he was at Leinster as some kind of support coach, wasn't he?
I think he was the head senior coach.
Was he?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, and then he left. Yeah, I thought that was going to be. I don't know how that's going in there right now, but there's probably some talks about him because he's not having a successful season with racing.
No.
Well, they're not doing too bad in the top 14.
Yeah.
But
with the squad they've got, they should expect to win some of these Champions Cup games.
That they've lost.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't a hammering though. It was 4 points, wasn't it? It's 25-29.
Yeah. I think it hammered, but I think there's been a lot of scores like that for him.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, that was Munster not long ago.
Yeah.
Some close losses.
What are you talking about? They're back on the top.
Back on top. The squad full of children.
Another surprising outcome. Yeah. Well, I thought La Rochelle was going to win this game too.
It is surprising though, because I think Leicester have been playing well enough for that game to at least be close, and it was not close, was it?
I wonder if this is one of those Leicester just didn't give a fuck.
Why? Nah, they're going to give a fuck about that.
You think so?
Yeah, it's like La Rochelle are one of the teams to beat, and
how the Champions Cup is set up, I think there's a few games that these guys can throw away. And it felt like Leicester, I don't know, it's kind of weird.
Okay. I mean, that's a hammering.
Especially Leicester, like their forward pack that they got.
Yeah.
Like they got a strong forward pack.
They do.
So I wasn't expecting La Rochelle to like just walk all over them.
No one.
I was actually intrigued to watch this because of that, because what they did to Saracens the week before.
Yeah.
So like, I got to look at the lineup too. I got to see who was playing on Leicester. But it's kind of a letdown. It's a disappointing score.
Yeah, it was a bit. I don't know what to say about that. I'm disappointed. I expected more from Leicester, but I don't think they would throw a game. No one wants to lose. I don't think Leicester wants to lose. I don't know.
In the game that's going on right now, Bordeaux Saracens.
Uh-oh.
You want to know the score?
I'm going to predict it with my psychic powers. Yeah. I'm going to say Bordeaux are winning. Don't give anything away. And they are winning by 6 points.
It's 43 minutes in.
Yeah.
3 minutes in the second half.
Yeah.
Bordeaux, 29 so far.
Yeah.
Saracens, 3.
Okay, I got one of those things right.
Yeah. Ooh,
Saracens
what is going
are
on?
Not doing well, are they, this year?
Struggling.
Yep. About time, I say. They've had too long at the top.
You guys had it too long. Too long. Yeah.
Too good.
Look at this. This team doesn't look too bad here. I'm looking at the team lineup here. Yeah, fuck. They're struggling this year.
Oh, well.
I never thought I would see that.
I don't care about Saracens. Whatever.
And that's a bit. Well, we're pretty sure we can call that game, unless some kind of fucking Christmas miracle happens.
Yeah, I don't think so.
No,
I don't think so. Bordeaux are pretty good though.
Yeah, they are.
So
they're going to be. They'll be probably the top. I'm calling them to be one of the top 4 teams in the Champions Cup.
Oh, okay. All right. Let's do a last 4 quickly. Who's in the last 4? I'm gonna say Leinster, La Rochelle. Oh, I don't know if I will say La Rochelle. I'm gonna say Leinster, La Rochelle. I might say Bulls and Bordeaux. Why not? That'd be fun.
Probably I'm going to go Leinster.
Yeah.
Toulouse for sure.
Oh, why did I forget Toulouse? Obviously it's Toulouse, yeah.
Maybe, I think Bordeaux. Yeah. I'm going to call that.
Yeah.
And then I think it's going to be like Northampton or Exeter.
How could I forget Northampton?
Yeah, you were just cheering them on.
I know. Yeah. God, that was a terrible prediction.
Yeah.
All right, you're right.
I'm just better at predicting. It's my strength. That's what I bring to the table.
Okay.
Unless
it's a Welsh team, when you're genuinely always wrong.
47% of the time he's right. So
every time.
So yeah, no, that's like I think of it for the top 4 for me.
Yeah, fair enough. So Champions Cup.
I think we covered up all the games.
Decent weekend, eh? I want to talk about the Kardashians of rugby.
Oh, the Kardashians, you love that, eh?
I do. Am I trying too hard with that joke now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
kind of stretching it a little bit.
All right, I'll leave that one. Anyway, Andy Farrell is the Lions head coach.
How does that make you feel?
I think good. It does make me feel good. I think Gatland had kind of worn it out a bit, and his selections in South Africa weren't great.
How many times has he done it?
Gatland has been the head coach of the Lions 3 times, I think. So South Africa, New Zealand, Australia, the last 3 tours. And he was part of the staff on another tour, I think.
Yeah.
So, 3 times is a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Time for new blood. Andy Farrell I think he's the best Northern Hemisphere international coach at the minute. I don't think there's much argument there.
This was just it's one of those stories where everyone was just knew was the outcome and they were just waiting for them to announce it.
The worst kept secret, eh?
It was the worst kept secret. Imagine they just went with someone just left field.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't even imagine Eddie
Pat
Jones.
Lam.
Eddie Jones comes in as the
Yeah, that would be funny with a steel chair. Yeah,
I think at one point he was probably
about 18 months ago might have been in contention.
Yeah, he might have been in contention for it, but like Andy Farrell, like I just couldn't think of anyone else.
No, it's not even. There's not a lot to talk about here because it's an obvious choice. It's a good choice. I watched the interview with him as well. He's a very humble man. You know, he seems like he hasn't got much of an ego, and people are asking the questions, what are you going to bring to this? What's your unique selling point? And he's just, I'm just going to be me. I'm just going to coach. And I think enough people trust him by now to go, yeah, fair enough, just do your thing.
Yeah, he like in 2023, he was like the most impressive coach.
Yeah, and I think the elephant in the room is Australia are terrible right now. So I hate to say it, I don't think it's going to be a fun tour.
I really hope a miracle happens over there because
we all want Australia to get better.
I want a series
so we can have a fun, because it could kill the brand a bit if it's a hammering, you know.
It is. Yeah, it's scary.
Yeah,
because it could hurt.
It could hurt the Lions brand.
There's just so much negativity around the last Lions tour in South Africa.
Yeah.
They need a good tour.
They do.
They need to have a good one.
Yeah.
This year. So, yeah, I mean, not this year, but next year.
Yeah.
So this is really important. Like Australia really need to pull up their pants.
They do.
They really need to bring like something to the
I
table.
don't know how they do that because it just seems like they're in a bit of a death spiral.
Well, you know who the Lions coach is before you even know who the fucking Wallabies coach is.
Yeah, that's bad, isn't it?
What the fuck are you guys doing over there?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's why we need an Australian specialist.
I wonder how the coaching, like hiring, like situation is like. I wonder what they're doing over there. Like,
yeah. Well, as a Welsh fan, I sympathize.
It's like a bunch of fucking old guys, and they got a Ouija board. Spirits of Rugby, please tell us who the coach is. Oh, something's happening. It
says Wayne Pivac. Wayne
Pivac.
We have to listen to the Ouija board.
They're using that fucking 8-ball that you shake.
Yeah.
It's like, should we hire this guy?
Yeah.
Fuck. I really hope that they don't go with Cheka.
Oh, I like
Not
Cheka.
that I say, not that I think that Cheka's a bad coach.
Yeah.
I just think he's done what he could do there.
Old wine into new bottles.
Yeah, and I just don't want to see that again.
Yeah.
Like they need someone
fresh.
They need something fresh. And I'm not saying Cheka's a bad coach. I think he's a great coach because what he did in Argentina was really impressive.
Yeah.
Like when he was coaching there, they beat everyone.
Yeah, they did.
So
yeah. They broke my little heart.
He's not a bad coach. I just don't think that this. And I'm really, really worried they're gonna go with Cheka again because he's free. All of a sudden, he's like out of the blue.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm not with Argentina anymore. Like, oh, there's an opening in Australia. Yeah. Oh, all of a sudden, I'm a free agent. I'm on Tinder. I'm on coaching Tinder now. Like, so it's just kind of too convenient.
Single and ready to mingle. Michael Cheika steps
so it's kind of, I don't like it. It's kind of scary.
He's going back to his ex.
Yeah, he's going back to, I think they're going to hook up again.
Okay.
He's nice now. He's changed.
Yeah. He is a bit of a lunatic, though. Like he's one of the most petulant coaches I've seen. As much as I like him as a coach, he's always whining about when he loses.
I love that.
I like it as well.
I like drama coaches.
I like drama coaches, obviously.
I don't want a drama coach for my team.
Yeah.
But you need.
But Australia really don't need a drama coach right now, do they?
No, they need someone that's ready to go do some business. Not saying Cheka wouldn't be able to do some good things. They just need a complete revamp.
Yeah.
They need a completely new direction, everything fresh.
Why I'm so harsh about Australian rugby is because even at their Super Rugby level, they're not competitive compared to New Zealand. And if that's the only people they're playing regularly, well, they got the Drua and was it Moana Pacifica as well, I guess. Yeah. But there's not enough of a good quality product to get Australian fans interested. If I was Australian, I know who's going to win the Super Rugby before it starts. Mm-hmm. I know there's going to be some insanely one-sided results. Mm-hmm. So why would I go watch? The competition?
That's why they need the Wallabies to put up a fight.
Yeah, that's right. But how do you have a good Wallabies without a good Super Rugby?
The Lions need this because of the last tour. The Wallabies need this for the sake of rugby in a fucking whole country.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things on the line.
Yeah, there are.
Right? Like this needs to be a successful tour.
Yeah.
On all fronts.
So another thing that maybe is a bit overblown is how everyone always talks about the Lions brand, and if they don't have a good tour, the Lions could go away. Like, maybe I'm being a bit dramatic. Like, what who decides if the Lions stop operating? I don't think that's in any danger, really, is it? Or is it?
No, I don't. Well, I don't know if there's an actual, if there in reality there's actually a decrease in interest.
No, I don't think so. But it's a kind of dramatic talking point. And I understand the narrative from a spectacle point of view. But let's say this is a terrible tour. Too bad. We're going to go to South Africa next time anyway, which will be good.
When I first heard about the British and Irish Lions,
yeah.
When I first heard about them,
yeah,
and I heard the whole concept of it, I thought it was kind of hokey.
Yeah,
and I didn't think it was anything.
Oh, it's so much fun.
Yeah, I didn't know how serious it was until that New Zealand series, because that was the first time I've ever experienced the Lions, and wow, I was hooked.
I think especially for British and Irish people, it's fun because you get to cheer for
everyone's together. We're all
get
family.
To cheer for Johnny Sexton, instead of grinding my axe.
Yeah, I love it. I love the whole concept of it. Yeah. I wish they would do like a Southern Hemisphere one.
Oh, we've got
yeah.
We're going to speculate, aren't we?
Yeah. But that would be I wish they would do something like that. But the British and Irish Lions are a great concept, and I don't know if it's in danger or anything.
Maybe
but
not.
This tour, there's a lot riding on it to improve from the previous tour and the Wallabies as a product.
Yeah.
In Australia, so yeah.
Yeah. We'll be okay. Us being Lions,
I
think. Whatever. I don't think I'd ever buy a Lions jersey. That feels a bit.
Who do you think Farrell is going to take on his coaching team? Do you have any ideas?
For his coaching team? That's a good question. I don't think he'll take any other Irish staff because I don't think he wants to leave Ireland in a bad situation. And maybe they wouldn't even release them, or maybe those guys. I'm thinking of Simon Easterby specifically.
Yeah.
So part of the Ireland coaching setup, doing a great job. I think probably Simon Easterby will potentially take over head coach of Ireland. So I think his coaches are going to come from elsewhere, i.e., not Ireland. Who he'll take? You know who's back in town? Rob Howley.
Oh yeah,
Rob Howley served his band.
Connections, eh?
Yeah, he does. Well, he's a good, decent attack coach,
Yeah,
but he served his band. He's done his time.
Yeah,
let him back. I don't know. I don't think he's going to pick Rob Howley though.
I think Borthwick.
Steve Borthwick.
I think he's going to be part of the setup, the coaching setup.
Really?
Yeah, he's been in it before, hasn't he? Wasn't he in it last time?
Yeah, I don't think you can deprive two countries of their head coach though.
I think those two guys get along really well.
Probably. I just think it's unlikely that he'll take another international head coach.
Well, he took. Andy Farrell he wasn't. He was the assistant coach for the last time.
I don't think I've tell me if I'm wrong, but I don't think I've ever seen a head coach of a country and another head coach of a country in their lines while they're both acting.
I don't know. I'd have to take a look at it.
Yeah, I don't know actually. I don't know enough about who's where and who's free and available. So yeah,
we got some time. Like who do you think is taking from each country?
Yes, we're doing like a top 3 guaranteed spots from each country. All right. I'll start with Wales.
Yeah.
I think Jack Morgan's going to go.
Mm-hmm.
Easy choice. He's looking good. I think a lot of people would say Louis Rees-Zammit, but I think there's players there who are definitely going to go before him. Thomas Williams, Cardiff's 9, I think he's really good.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe this is a bit left field, but Dav Jenkins at Exeter, he's regularly captaining them. And he's a bit younger, but I think, he looks good.
What about Emmanuel? Ouch, too soon?
It's fine. It's fine. I actually don't. I'll tell you about that in a bit.
Yeah.
I'll tell you how I feel about that in a bit, but it's probably not as dramatic as you think.
I think I agree with you on
yeah. What about Ireland?
Ireland, I think you're definitely taking Porter.
Yeah.
You're taking Dan Sheehan.
Oh yeah.
You're taking Caelan Doris.
Oh, okay. I didn't put
then
that.
There's a lot of players you would take. I think those 3 are 100% are going in.
Ireland have got some really good forwards right now. Yeah.
Ones that I'm not unsure of, but I would be surprised they weren't like Hugo Keenan. I'd be surprised if he's not going.
He is. Yeah, we were talking about this yesterday, weren't we? He's probably the best fullback. Him or Ramos are probably the best fullbacks in the Northern Hemisphere. So
yeah, and he's
So I think.
So I'd be very surprised if he doesn't go.
Yeah, me too.
You can make an argument for Bundyaki, but he hasn't been playing much rugby. Something's going on.
Yeah, you told me that.
He's kind of in and out of the squad and Connacht, and but we're talking like a year from now, so
that's true.
You could probably for like what I've seen in the last year and so, like Bundyaki, you could make an argument for it. Gary Ringrose.
Yeah.
definitely a top, but the top 3 that would definitely 100% be in the squad.
Yeah.
Andrew Porter.
Yeah.
Dan Sheehan.
Yeah.
Kalen Doris right now.
I would put Hugo Keenan ahead of Kalen Doris, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think so. Not that Kalen Doris is bad. I just think there's enough quality 8s around that there's an argument to be had.
Who would you choose over Kalen Doris? From another nation.
Right. Oh, why'd you have to put me on the spot like that? Now you've made my
because I thought that was fucking bullshit,
nonsense.
And I called that bullshit.
Yeah, shit. I mean, okay. I think this is going to sound a bit wild because neither...
Billy Villapona? Villapona?
No, he's not going. I mean, that Don Brandt or Zach Mercer I would like to see on the Lions
Don
tour, but...
Brand. No.
He's not. He doesn't step up internationally as much.
Stop trying to make Don Brand happen. Don Brand is not going to happen. Stop trying to make him happen.
Well, I like him though.
He's had so many chances.
He's had a few.
Yeah.
I think if Falatau's fit, he would go, but he's aging out, isn't he? He's
there's some exciting guys too. So like Zach Mercer, he's had a good game yesterday.
Yeah, he did.
He's back in there. Another guy from England, Alfie Barbary, who'll be a year from now.
Yeah.
He'll be more seasoned. So. That's another one too, but I think Kalen Doris is the top 8 in Europe.
Jack Conan as well.
Jack Conan.
Yeah, like another at Leinster 8.
Just going in the shadows.
Yeah.
Gavin Coombs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so the 8 is probably going to be an Irishman then.
I think so.
Yeah. When you say it like that, now you put me on the spot and shamed me in front of our fan. Yeah, fair enough. I can't... okay, Scotland. 3 players from Scotland who are going. And Scotland always get the rough end of the stick because they...
Yeah, well, definitely Finn Russell's going to go.
Yeah.
If he keeps doing the Finn Russell stuff.
Yeah, he's still doing Finn Russell stuff.
Doohan will definitely go. Schumann and Ferguson.
Xander Ferguson.
Xander Ferguson, their tight head, and Schumann is a loose head. I think both of those guys are going to go.
They're that good compared to other...
I think so.
Yeah, okay.
I think those 2 are probably the... Yeah, right now I can't think of anyone that's too much better than those guys.
I like Jamie Ritchie a lot, but I don't think he's been as good as he was like maybe last year, the year before. So
Rory Darge.
Yeah, he's playing. Yeah, he's good.
Yeah, he's another guy that's that can go in there.
Who's the
Chris Harris?
Chris Harris at Gloucester. Yeah, he's good. Yeah, he's playing okay. I mean, there's I think who's the Glasgow centre? Tui Pelotu, is it?
Oh yeah, I forgot about him.
He's good.
I always forget about him.
Yeah, I always forget his name.
He's definitely gonna. I think he's one of those definite goes.
Really?
Oh yeah,
Strong
100%.
Words.
Yeah,
strong words. Okay.
He rarely has a bad game.
No, he doesn't.
So
yeah. Okay. England. I put Owen Farrell.
Yeah.
He's taking his wee son with him.
I think Courtney Laws too. I'm serious. I think that's a big call, but I think he's gonna put his hand up for a Lions tour.
Yeah, even though he's not playing internationally.
If he's playing good next year, around that time, I think he'll go on a Lions tour. Yeah.
Has anyone? I think I asked you this yesterday, and I don't think we know the answer.
We should have looked it up before the fucking episode.
Has anyone ever played a Lions tour when they've been retired from international rugby? I think Shane Williams did, but he went as cover in Australia just to like help out in a midweek game. After he'd retired from international rugby. And I think sometimes it kind of shames a national coach if you pick... Like, I think when Gatland took Marcus Smith on the Lions tour to South Africa, Eddie Jones wasn't picking him at 10. So it was almost like Gatland being like, Eddie, I know what I'm doing more than you do, you know?
There's a couple things here with Owen and Courtney Laws. First of all, Courtney Laws retired from Test rugby because he wanted more time with his family.
Yeah, it's not controversial at all.
It's not a controversial
He's just
thing.
taking it. He's done.
It's not that he's like, he's too beat up or he's not good enough to play anymore.
Yeah.
It's just that he wants that time. And I think when the Lions tour comes up, it's a big thing.
Yeah.
And he might put his hand up. And Owen Farrell's not done with England.
No, he's not. He's just taking
a
break.
He hasn't even left Saracens yet.
No.
He's just taking a break.
Yeah.
Right? He hasn't done anything.
Yeah.
So he's just as much in contention than anyone else. He's just taking a break this year. That's all he said. From the Six Nations. He just needs a break. He might even play in the summer. He's going to New Zealand.
Yeah. So it's not even controversial then.
No.
Saying Owen Farrell or Courtney Laws.
Yeah. Who else would you take?
Itoje.
Yeah.
A little bit. I don't know if he's anonymous recently. He's not stealing the show anymore though.
Itoje is not as untouchable as a pick as he used to be.
No. Last year or so.
He was always an auto include.
Yeah.
And that's kind of gone away.
It has gone away. And I was like, even thinking in every other country, there's locks who are playing as well as him, if not better. So
yeah. So it's kind of that's a weird thing to say about him. I don't know. Maybe there's something's going on. Maybe he's distracted or
I like him. I still think he's good. Like, so I wouldn't be surprised if they took him. And I also put Ellis Genge.
Yeah. So you and I had a debate about that.
Yeah, I like.
I don't know if Ellis Genge is going to make it.
Why?
I think they're going to want to go, with like a powerhouse. I think they're going to go.
They call him the baby rhino.
Yeah, but
not the adult rhino. Actually, if he was the adult rhino, it would be a less cool nickname, but more impressive in implication.
I think his scrum is his weak point.
Yeah.
He's definitely a great player.
Yeah.
But he's not that power guy.
Do you know who else's scrum is their weak point? Australia. So don't matter.
Yeah, I think they're coming to fucking destroy them.
They're just gonna roll over them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if Australia has they got some props that are pretty.
They do have
healthy.
some props, and to be fair, I think it was Tupou was injured in the World Cup, and he would have made a huge difference to their scrum. So
they got some big boys too.
Yeah,
like if Skelton comes back for that Lions tour, which I think how old is Skelton too? I don't even know.
As old as he is tall.
Yeah, so he's like a tree from the Lord of the Rings.
So he's an ent.
Yeah, an ent.
Yeah,
just walking real.
He is
walking
massive.
Over. Yeah. So I agree with you on.
I think there's nothing too debatey going on in like your guaranteed picks, is there? I think Ireland they're going through a serious golden generation, aren't they? These are the good times if you're Irish.
Yeah.
And if you ignore
there's going to be some guys in Ireland that are going to miss out.
Yeah.
That's going to be crazy.
Yeah.
So I'm going to feel bad for some because there's some. I know there's a bunch of them that want it. I wonder if this is going to be the year where they have. Well, I don't know. After the Six Nations, they'll have more of a
better idea.
A better idea because where everyone's really at.
I don't think Ireland are going to slow down this year. I think they're going to win the Six Nations.
That's what everyone's saying. Everyone's saying that they're all like, oh, they're built for the next 10 years.
Yeah, their system, their infrastructure is so good. Like with Wales and England, we go up and down, and it's kind of tied to the finances of our union and stuff, and our management. But with Ireland, their infrastructure is kind of foolproof right now.
I think Andy's going to tinker a little bit this year.
With the Lions?
Not with the Lions,
with Ireland.
With Ireland, and there's going to be some growing pains and some figuring out some stuff, and I think they're really going to solidify themselves after. They'll be very solidified after the box tour in South Africa. Because he's going to bring the A squad. He's going to bring that development side. He's really going to get a good look at his players.
Yeah,
at a tour. So and then you'll really know where they're at after that.
These are the salad days if you're Irish. Just don't worry about it, guys. You've got talent for days. Infrastructure's good.
It's not the argument is not if Ireland's gonna be bad. It's like how good are they gonna be?
Yeah, exactly.
It's a good problem to have.
It is. Yeah, I'm not. Them and South Africa and France are in very good situations across the board. I think.
Do you have anything else to put in about Andy
Farrell? No, I don't think so. I think it's there's no spicy things we can bitch about really. It's kind of solid choice. Yeah, and I'm happy for him, and he's a nice guy.
It's not really spicy news.
It's not, is it? I thought it would be.
We all expected
it. We all knew this was going to happen. It's a great choice. Yeah, fucking, give us some. A lot of the time when we're talking, I say to you, all this stuff writes itself because rugby has its drama, but this is fine.
Yeah.
Normal.
Yeah.
Boring even. Move on.
There's something else that's exciting.
Oh, yeah?
The women's Lions.
Yes. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
It is really cool. Yeah, I'm excited for that. I think they're going to New Zealand.
I don't know.
I think they are. I think they're going to New Zealand. Yeah, I think so. I think I read that. Yeah.
You could do the great thing about a women's British and Irish Lions.
Yeah.
Is you can actually tour North America.
Yeah.
Because they're good
and they're competitive.
Yeah. That's the exciting thing about this is you can have a Lions tour. Come to Canada.
Yeah.
Because the girls will be up for it.
Oh, they will. They might win.
Yeah. I don't know if they'll win. It would be cool if the Lions came over and they did like a USA Canada mix. Oh, I don't like that idea.
Why?
I just don't like the two of us mixing
like
that.
Touching tips with the Americans.
Yeah, I just don't like that idea. Well, I would still be down for it.
You would love it.
Oh yeah.
When you talk about finding out,
then that would be interesting.
Imagine a little Welsh boy always told that the English are evil oppressors and we hate them when we watch rugby, and then all of a sudden the Lions happen and I can cheer for Owen Farrell. Like it's magical. It'd be the same feelings. Like, oh, boo the Americans. Then you get to cheer for their players. You'd love it.
Yeah, it's there's a lot of opportunities, a lot of different a lot of different scenarios you can have with this women's Lions team, like coming to North America,
because you've got a whole other continent who are competent at rugby.
Hands down, if they came to the States and did a tour or in Canada, I'd fly down to watch it.
Oh, me too. That'd be amazing.
It'd be great.
Yeah.
Like watch a couple games.
Yeah, no, I'd love that. Yeah, and I was watching the that women's competition they did in New Zealand over the summer. I forget what it's called. I feel bad for not remembering it, but like there was a lot of competitive games. You know, like Wales have gone professional, Ireland and Scotland have gone professional. So there's 5 or 6 teams now who are getting better, could beat each other. England are still New Zealand are obviously the team to beat because they're the World Cup champions, right?
Yeah.
But England and France have got a really good professional setup as well. So it's not like there's going to be a blowout when these teams meet each other, right?
No.
So yeah, the Lions tour is kind of, I think, building on that success. It's awesome.
Yeah, and there's just a lot of different things you can do with this product.
Totally. Yeah.
That's exciting for me.
It is. Yeah. No, maybe more. It has the potential to be as good, if not better, than the men's one because, like I said, if you've got a whole other continent, Canada and the US have excellent women's teams, right? You've got a whole other market there. It could be really exciting, right?
Especially for Canadian rugby fans.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All 5 of you.
Too. All 5 of us.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I really like the idea.
Yeah.
And when is it? Do you know when it's supposed to happen? I thought I saw something like 2027.
I thought 2025.
Or 2025.
Yeah.
It's not for a little bit.
Yeah, they got a little time
and now
to
they
plan.
have that Celtic Challenge going on.
Yeah.
So those girls are like are in a professional setup now.
Yeah, and that's been competitive as well. So there was the Gwalia Lightning. I think it was against the Irish Clovis. That was Gwalia lost today, I think, yesterday by 2 points. So it's also a competitive league. They're not blowouts, right? They've thought this through, evenly matched teams. So those girls are going to have a lot of good competitive matches between now and then. So they're only going to get better. So yeah, it's good.
It would, because if you did the Lions, women's Lions last year or something like that, it'd be really hard to choose not just England.
Yeah, it would. It would.
Right?
And I still think England will take the majority of the players.
Yeah.
You know?
But now that you have like basically the whole like British and Irish Lions nations,
there's
all professional.
Yeah.
Like that's going to help out a lot, and you're going to so they're going to be coming with a good team.
They are. Yeah, there's a Welsh winger, Jasmine Joyce, and she doesn't have a bad game. She's always scoring tries. She's lightning fast. So there are definitely players I can think of immediately who would get in that aren't English. But I think the majority of them will be English. But yeah, it's not going to be kind of dialed in stuff. You know, there's going to be some good debates about it.
I really wish they would just let Sophie DeGoody from Canada, get in there.
Yeah, just like borrow a few.
I feel
Canadians.
bad for her. She's like the best rugby player in the world.
She's pretty good, eh?
Pound for pound.
But she kicks as well.
She does everything.
Yeah.
She can play any position.
Yeah.
There's not a pound for pound player that's as good as she is.
Yeah.
Like man
Justin
or woman.
Tipperick, actually, probably as good across in any position. Her and Justin Tipperick, all-time greats of rugby.
Yeah, because there's just nothing that she can't do.
Yeah.
So I wish she would get an experience like that. It's just sad.
Maybe they'll do a Canadian USA super team, call them the Bear Eagles. The Beagles.
The Beagles?
Yeah, I'd watch that. That'd be great.
Yeah, I would love that. So
yeah. Cool. Yeah, that's exciting. Not very dramatic today, are we? Still just very positive.
Let's get dramatic.
Okay.
Let's talk about the Welsh trader. That's pretty harsh.
Emmanuel Feiwaboso. Do you know, I'm going to disappoint you by being quite level-headed and positive about it. I
think,
yeah? Because A, his explanation was pretty reasonable.
Yeah.
And B, there's a lot of wingers in Wales who I think are going to be as good as him. I keep talking about Mason Grady. I like him a lot. I think probably Feiwaboso is probably a bit better. But we've got pretty good wingers in Wales. And, let me say this for the guy. When I read his explanation, it made total sense. And it's basically the WIU's 25 cap policy that's fucked him. And I feel bad for him. Like, he's a Welsh guy. Like, you listen to him speak, he's from Cardiff, right? Like, it's not a case of, one parent is very English, one parent is very Welsh or anything like that,
Yeah, this whole situation, when I first read about it, because I was surprised.
Yeah.
I was surprised. I actually got a little angry at him.
Yeah.
I was like, how could you do this? It brought up a feeling like years and years ago in the 90s.
Yeah.
There was an NHL player called Brett Hall.
Yeah.
And he didn't get picked for Team Canada.
Yeah.
So he was dual citizen. He played for the United States in this hockey championship, and they beat us.
And did he score?
I don't know if he scored, but they beat us.
Yeah.
And it was really bitter. It's like, how could you do this?
Yeah.
But the only person to blame was Hockey Canada for not putting him on the team.
Yeah.
Right?
That's what I'm saying.
It actually took me, I had to actually logically think about his decision.
Yeah.
Because it raises a bunch of questions. Like why, this cap rule.
Yeah.
It's holding them back.
For me, that's the only and main question.
And
it's stupid.
Like, why isn't Welsh rugby product attractive enough to just auto lure a boy born and raised in Cardiff to play for Wales?
Yeah.
It should be an auto include.
Yeah.
Right? It should be your default setting.
Yeah.
Like, I'm playing for Wales.
Yeah.
No matter what happens, what's going on in my life, I'm playing for my country.
But okay, so I agree with you, and I do get those feelings in my stomach. The reptile brain goes, "What the fuck are you doing? Like, are you not Welsh?"
Yeah.
But then, honestly, his explanation was pretty watertight, right? Like, and it was more to do with his medical career. Actually, it sounds like, So, like, if he chose to play for Wales, he would be obliged to accept a contract from one of the regions eventually, which means he would have to play in Wales while he's studying in England.
But then again, there's a stipulation that's in the way. Why is that there?
That's what I'm saying. It's the WIU's fault, not his, as far as I'm concerned.
Like, the fact that it's like it should be his default setting to play for Wales, but the fact that the WRU has built up such an unattractive system for someone like him, like that's
sucks.
Something has to be done there.
Same with Joe Hawkins.
Like this situation should never happen again. Like the WRU needs to really seriously okay, we have to change some things because the way that rugby is going, the way that our union is going, like we cannot keep just the same old rules. We have to do some changes.
And sadly, I don't think it's a simple thing, because if they get rid of that maybe they have one or two players who that is preventing them leaving Wales. And then the product in Wales gets worse because we've lost other good players. Like, I don't know how you fix this.
I think there was what union fought this the longest too, and then when they finally opened up the floodgates,
South Africa. Yeah.
They fought this for a long time,
trying
to keep the players in South Africa, and then finally they're like, you know what, we can't do this.
Yeah.
And they've knocked down the doors.
Yeah.
They let the players free.
Yeah.
And now they've won 2 World Cups.
It's different in Wales. They've got a population of 3 million people, 3.5 million. They've got 60, 70 million people, and they like rugby as much as we do, I think. So it's not comparing like for like. I think the WRU have to find a sensible way of keeping people in Wales. Actually, the answer is, I've just remembered what the answer is. It's fucking fund the unions, fund the regions properly, give them more money.
That development, they need that conveyor belt of new talent.
Well, we've got talent. They're just playing in England now. Feiwa Boso plays in England. Luis Rizamet plays in England.
But that's not the problem. Like, in my eyes, they need to always, as soon as a guy goes over there to play, there's another kid coming up.
There is, though.
Yeah.
There is, though. I think there is.
So it shouldn't be a worry. Because that's what South Africa does. As soon as another guy leaves, there's another guy coming out of that conveyor belt of players to take a spot.
Well, just remember that population difference, though.
Yeah, there's a population
tens
difference.
of millions more people.
I think you can do it in Wales, too. It's not going to be as dramatic as South Africa. Because remember, it's South Africa, too.
Yeah.
Right? All their top athletes go into anyone that's an athlete is usually going into rugby first, right? I don't know what's the what's the numbers for in Ireland
for what,
for kids going in playing rugby and stuff like that. What's that compared to Wales? What's the player bases?
Well, I could get pretty salty about this and start talking about money, but I think the misconception here is that rugby is the most popular sport in both South Africa and Wales. I would argue it's not. I'd say it's football. And that is, so I'd say most kids in South Africa and Wales are playing football on the weekend. They're playing rugby, don't get me wrong, but it's not the most popular, and neither is it the most popular sport in Ireland. So it has to do more with what you're able to afford in establishing academies, right? And someone like Luis Rizamet went through the Gloucester Academy.
Yeah.
He never played for a Welsh region, right?
Yeah.
So they're poaching our talent even before, if you're saying, who's the next guy off the rank? He was, and he went straight to England.
But the thing about Louis Rizamet, too, is when his international career was coming up, he wasn't thinking of anyone but Wales.
But he didn't have he was never in danger because he was never offered a contract by a Welsh region because he was always playing in England.
That's true too. That's a good.
You know
point.
what I mean? So it's like we're kind of being
there's
leached
some rules
off by other people, and we don't have
the rules are. There is definitely a rules issue with the WRU.
Yeah, and I think it's the problem starts. They're the main problem, but not the only problem.
Yeah,
you know?
But having those barriers there for those players to because these guys got to make a living.
I get it. That's why I'm not too angry at Feiwa Boso, right?
Yeah.
Like, I get it, you know?
I would be angry. I think you should be angry about it.
I'm a little bit angry.
I think you should be.
I'm a little bit angry.
I don't think you should be angry at Waboso.
Yeah.
You should be angry at the union for making the situation happen.
That's exactly what
and
I'm
I think
saying.
you should be upset about it. I think it's something that's like something really to be angry about because like that shouldn't have happened, right? And he had to do that because his hands are tied.
Yeah. It felt like that, didn't it?
Right,
and you expect him to just not play for anyone internationally, you know?
Yeah, like what do you? Yeah, it's just bad. I thought it was a bad situation, very unfortunate situation.
It's just sad, isn't it? It's just sad,
and it shouldn't
happen again.
Like they have to look at the reality of where, like, the Welsh rugby is, and they have to adjust.
I think they will. It's just going to take time.
Because that was a wake-up call, I think. That really needs to be a wake-up call situation.
There's so many problems in-house there that I think they're working on them. They've got a new CEO. They're doing some things. But it's just everything's going to take time. And in the meantime, we're going to lose another couple of good players, I think.
Yeah.
So, whatever. I've just accepted that Welsh rugby is going to be a bit shit for about 5 years. That's been my attitude for a little while now.
So sad.
Whatever. The 90s were terrible. We can do another 90s. We can get through it. And then we'll get a new Gatland. He might not leave. He might just stay there. And then, in the 2030s, we'll be resurgent again. You know?
They'll create AI.
It's exciting being Welsh, though, because every day's different, you know? Sometimes you're good, sometimes you're bad. Imagine being Irish. Every day's good. What are you talking about? Who's going to play 10 out of these 19 children we've got? It's boring. Give me some excitement, some ups and downs.
We want to talk about an Irish 10?
No, I'm done talking about Irish 10.
Yeah, let's talk about Irish 10.
Let's talk about
Joey Carberry.
Joey bloody Carberry, yeah. Where's he going?
I don't know. I heard rumors Bordeaux.
Oh, that would be good.
Yeah, that's what I've been hearing on the grapevine.
I think the reason it's interesting to talk about is because he's kind of saying, I'm not going to play for Ireland, right? That sounds like what it's saying to me.
There had to have been some conversations with him and Andy Farrell.
Yeah, that's what it makes me think as well.
There must be some kind of conversations going on with him, Munster, because for them to let him go,
there
had to have been some like tough talks.
Yeah,
I think I don't want him to go.
No,
but I think he'll be good for. I don't think his Ireland career is over with. I don't think it is.
Really?
I don't think it is. I think he's going to go to.
How old is he?
28.
Okay.
So I think he might go. I think what I would think he should do is go to Japan.
Yeah.
Go to Japan, make some money.
Do a New Zealand style sabbatical.
Yeah, a shorter season.
Yeah.
Easier on his fucking battered body.
Yeah.
The guy's been like injured so many times. He's just like been so injury.
Well, that's another thing. Every time he's had a chance to nail down the Irish 10 jersey, he has either been injured.
Yeah.
Or he's not had enough time there to kind of
get back into the groove of things.
And then Johnny Sexton will just walk over and push him out of the way and jump back in.
I don't think it's a talent thing for him. It's just the way his career's gone and the injuries.
Yeah.
Just really unfortunate for him.
Yeah, timing sucked.
And I think him getting away from the whole system, or I could be completely wrong. There could be something wrong with Munster's system. There could be something going on there. Like they had a few players just like leaving.
They had, and I had read a rumor about someone else kind of big leaving also the other day. I don't remember who it was, but it made me think all is not well there.
There's something, is there something going on there? It's like, is the whole situation getting toxic there?
They're
like,
literally
why?
the USC champions.
So something's, I don't know, like that's just another conspiracy
Save
thing.
It for the conspiracy minute.
But it just kind of makes me like, I think there's like questions asked. Is there something else going on in Munster?
Yeah.
But because I just don't think. Like,
do you think
Joey Carberry is not a player you want to let go of? No. He might be too expensive.
Maybe.
Like they might be like, you know what, we're going to look towards the youth. The next big thing of rugby, Irish rugby.
Another one. Yeah. This guy's 12 years old. Yeah. He's amazing.
So there's a lot of questions there.
Yeah. Do you think Thomond Park is haunted? Maybe. Could be. R.G. Snyman didn't like it there.
There's a fucking poltergeist.
Yeah, his barbecue burnt him and then he had to leave.
Bullying the players.
It's haunted. That's what it is, obviously.
Yeah, I guess I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. Ghosts.
Yeah, that's probably the most logical explanation is the spooky ghosts.
Yeah, we put it to bed at least. Yeah. Now we know why Joe Carberry's leaving. I think if he could go in Japan, make some money, I think it'd be exciting. And I think Japan might be the one, like you said, for the slightly shorter season.
Yeah.
But also big bucks. Because if you go to France, it's relentless, isn't it?
And I keep hearing it's less physical. But they keep fucking buying all these big ass fucking players.
Yeah, they're recruiting a lot of South Africans.
It can't be that much that softer. Like I can't get the words out of my mouth.
Rugby's rugby as well. Yeah. I don't care how you're still running into people as fast as you can.
Look what happened to who was that old England coach, the flanker, and he went to the MLR. And he got fucking injured. In his
Chris Robshaw.
Yeah, he got fucking injured in his first game.
He did, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys that come over there, and it's still rugby.
Yeah,
right?
Still gonna hurt, right?
You're probably gonna get injured more in MLR because guys are just fucking doing whatever over there.
The handling is okay. Yeah. Let's leave the MLR. Let it live.
But yeah, that's all I have to say about Joey Carberry.
Yeah, good luck to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he's playing Ireland 10 again though. To be honest.
What else do you got on that menu there?
The menu for today. We talked about traitors. We talked about ghosts. We're going to talk about the Netflix documentary. And we're going to talk about content and the advertising of rugby content. Because you said the other day that rugby doesn't advertise itself well internationally, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, yeah, whatever, it's fine. I've thought about it a little bit more, and yeah, it's pretty terrible actually. I'll give you an example. The Six Nations YouTube released like this 1.5-hour interview with Justin Tipperick the other day, and it was kind of out of the blue. I hadn't seen any promotion for it, and I'm just sat there watching this really deep dive, well-produced interview with Justin Tipperick about his entire career, and I loved every second of it. And if I hadn't just been randomly on my computer, I wouldn't have seen it. And it made me... And another thing is things like the URC highlights, right? Like this is a multinational, multi-million currency league. Like why are the highlights shit? Like there's so many things. So anyway, Netflix making a Six Nations documentary, right?
I think it's awesome. I was blown away by the trailer.
Yeah.
It's made by the same guys that made that very popular F1 documentary series.
I didn't watch that.
So they made this F1 documentary series, and it was huge for F1.
Right.
In fact, my boss is now a huge F1 guy.
Yeah.
Like because of this, and he's
really?
like planning trips to go watch F1.
Oh,
he's like
I hate
all
Formula
over.
One. Maybe I should watch it.
Yeah, he's all over it.
Yeah.
Right, because of this Netflix documentary.
Yeah.
So I think, just what I saw from the trailer.
Yeah.
Of this rugby one, it's gonna do that for a lot of people.
Just bring in the casuals.
Yeah, it's gonna bring in a lot of casuals into the game because I've anecdotally seen it happen with their previous documentary.
Yeah.
And I think that you're going to get a bunch of random new fans. I think it's going to be great for the game. I think it's a great idea.
Yeah.
And it's made... oh, no. I don't know if that's real or not. But, yeah. It's...
Did you watch the Welcome to Wrexham documentary?
No, I didn't watch that.
What they did well there was it wasn't just a documentary about the games. It was a documentary about the community of the town, the stories of the coaches and the managers, and there was a really nice story about the women's teams. There's a really nice story about some of the fans with disabilities and stuff, and they just made this kind of holistic picture of everything, made it really wholesome, and it was like all these human stories. So I think they focus on that, and they don't just be like France beat Scotland and here's the game. And I think they know what they're doing with it, and I think that's what it will be. So if they can bring in that kind of human connection to the sport, you're going to attract casuals outside of the traditional rugby countries, right?
Yeah.
Is that what you're getting at?
You're going to get the guy that loves just sports documentaries.
Yes.
And he's going to watch this, and he's going to be like, oh, what is this? This looks really cool.
Yeah.
Right? And I can see me.
Yeah.
Like
10 years ago.
Not knowing what rugby is, seeing this.
Bright-eyed, bushy-tailed.
And being like, oh, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Right? And then like getting into rugby. So I think it's a really like this is the shit that they need to do.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, and I'm a perfect person like cuz I come from basically a non-rugby market.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So trying to be a rugby fan in North America is like living on the fucking moon. You're like alone.
Yeah.
You know, you're on your space station and you're all by yourself.
Yeah.
And there's no one to talk to.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's how it feels.
Is that why you keep talking to me?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why you and I bromance when I met you.
Oh, okay. Figured it out. You're using me for my rugby.
Yeah, I am.
Shit. That's all I am to you.
Yeah.
All right.
You'd be surprised. Any person that I ever talk to that like knows their rugby.
Yeah.
I just bromance with.
Yeah, you do, to be fair.
Yeah, because I love talking about it.
You sniff out a rugby nerd pretty quickly, don't you?
I'm so fucking horny to talk about rugby with people.
Yeah, you are.
Because it's so hot. There's no one there.
Yeah.
You're so starved.
You got this pent-up energy.
Yeah.
You want to say things about.
There was a guy I was working on a site with.
A guy you were working on?
No, a guy I was working with.
Yeah.
And he was a New Zealander and he was Kiwi.
Yeah.
And like we would just like try to find each other just to have little sessions and bitch sessions about things.
Yeah.
Right? Because he knew his shit.
Yeah.
Right? And then he was just like so happy to finally meet someone that like knew their shit too.
Yeah.
Or somewhat.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I think it's a little bit. What's sad for me is because you and me play rugby.
Yeah.
And out of the 40 to 50 rugby players we know who we play with regularly, nobody gives a shit about watching rugby, it seems, right?
It's weird.
It's like it's you and nobody else. That's the only Canadian I've met who's like, not only do I play... No, there's actually a couple other people. That's a bit rude, but you are the only person who is genuinely interested in watching all the games that I've met here. Out of people who play rugby, you know?
Well, I haven't met anyone that's been like as dedicated to making sure like I could get up at like 3 a.m. and watch games.
Yeah.
Because I have to watch them.
Yeah.
Right? And so yeah, it's lonely. But I think this is a good direction, this Netflix series.
Yeah, it's good. I think it can only do good things for the game. And
yeah.
I think what I'm worried about is if they the kind of narrative at the minute is promoting the already established rugby countries too much, whereas there's a bunch of countries who are developing who, if we gave them a bit of love, they would get better, like Portugal, Chile.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm hoping that...
Maybe like a World Cup documentary?
Maybe, yeah.
That's a lot of teams.
It is a lot of teams, yeah.
And right now they're going... Like, you got to remember, too, like, this is a business, too, for them.
Totally, this is a good start.
They need, like, they automatically Six Nations. They're going to have eyes on it.
Totally.
A lot of fans.
Yeah, I'll watch it, yeah.
So,
yeah.
if they went with, like, just a bunch of random, like, Tier 2 nations, like Rugby Canada, like, no one's going to...
I guess what I'm saying is this is a great start. I'm into it. But I don't want the future to just be glamorizing the already existing rugby stories,
I just want more
rugby.
If you're gonna do fucking a documentary on the top teams like all the time, okay, but make sure you just keep churning them out. More content. It's gonna be
the Marvel universe of rugby.
Just swamp
the
fans with content, with extra content, because the fans love that shit.
Do you think Rugby League would be like the multiverse where Loki survives?
Probably.
And it'll be shit. And no one will watch it except Australians. I hope.
Yeah, we're the best, mate. We're the best.
So harsh to him today. Let's do
some fan
questions.
Fan questions. Fans, plural.
How many is 2?
2.
2 fan questions.
Yeah.
Yay. That's kind of cool. Is one of them the same fan who asked us a question last time?
It is.
Okay, that's not a bad thing.
So
that means consistency in our fan base.
Yeah, Levi Playboy 6969 sent us a link about that USA Rugby USA putting in a team in the MLR.
Say that again.
So USA Rugby, and World Rugby are funding a team, a development team in the MLR.
Okay.
You haven't heard about that?
I had heard about that. Sorry, I was just had a little brain fart then. Yeah.
So he sent us that link and he wanted to know what we thought about it.
Ooh.
That's
a good question.
It all depends on how much money they're going to put into it.
Is
this going to be just they're just going to throw these kids into the MLR and they're just going to get destroyed?
No, I don't think so. I think this is a good idea. I think it's like if you look at the comparisons between the Irish system and the English and Welsh systems, where in England and Wales it's like a private business set up for the clubs, which is what the MLR is right now, versus the Irish one where it's owned and funded by the rugby union. You can obviously see one's doing better than the other in terms of talent production. I think initially it wouldn't be as good.
Because they're going to be... I feel like this is going to be a thing where they pay these guys minimum.
You think so?
Yeah, and it's just going to be a bunch of amateurs.
I think they'll pay a market value.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you have to, wouldn't you? Because why would they play there?
Because it's development and it's a paycheck.
Oh, and then when they develop good, they go elsewhere.
Because the purpose of the team is development.
Right. So
I just don't... I need to know more about it before I kind of like make my... But right now, off the hook, I have a lot more questions.
Right.
Like, so are you gonna like go after players? Are you gonna bring some players from Europe back to the MLR? Like, are you gonna? I just don't know. I don't know how competitive they're gonna be. Who's gonna coach it? I got a lot of questions.
Or are they doing it because some teams have folded and they need to fill in the gaps and they haven't got a millionaire to help them out?
That too. But I already I guess because previously I heard like the relationship between the MLR and Rugby USA, it wasn't that great.
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, I think there's some friction, isn't there? Because there was something. Oh, I wish I could remember the details, but something happened in Colorado, which is kind of the heartland of American rugby.
Yeah,
what was that story?
I kind of the Raptors. That was kind of a separate thing,
right?
Outside of that too.
Yeah,
but that was kind of very similar. But there was kind of like they just weren't seeing eye to eye on a couple things,
right?
And now it looks like the MLR and Rugby USA, they maved up. They're holding hands. They're kissing under the moonlight. It looks. I don't know. Hopefully it works out.
Right.
Hopefully it works out. I just have I have too many questions.
I think so. Okay. So to answer the question, we don't have enough details about it to have informed opinions. But also, I think it's a great idea. Okay, let's go.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, it's good. I think it's why not?
Do you think Rugby Canada should step up, put a team in?
They've had plenty of chances to step up.
They would
just do something. Just do something. Don't just hire the same coach again.
It's
like anything.
I have no hope in them doing the right thing.
Poking his dead body with a stick.
They probably can't even mentally comprehend what they're doing, what the USA is doing.
Yeah.
They're like, what? What?
What does that mean?
Develop? I don't understand.
Get the dictionary.
Yeah.
What are they talking about?
What? Is it a hot dog stand? Where does Kingsley Jones fit into this? They have fucking no clue.
Yeah. No, I've got no hope for him.
And the second question.
Yeah.
The Kiwis have come for us.
Oh no.
Yeah.
We knew it would happen. We've been mean.
So Phil, the Ginger Master 99, asked us, "Hey, you cunts, why do you think that New Zealand hates scrums?"
Oh, well.
Just disclaimer, he told me not to say any of those things. He's like, please don't say it like that.
Well, I think the answer is obvious. They're cowardly people. They're not physically impressive.
Also, this Phil guy is a ginger, so should we even answer his question?
That's harsh.
Does he even deserve?
We need more than 2 fans, so I think we're going to have to answer this question.
I don't know. Phil, fuck you. You're not even a person, so you don't get your question answered.
Wow. Okay, some editing might be needed.
But no.
Okay, to be fair, here's my fair answer.
Do a fair answer.
Okay, a fair answer is I think people always underestimate New Zealand scrummaging. And then and their defense as well, because you watch Super Rugby and it seems like no one's trying to defend, but there's a lot of talented attackers in the league. So when we watch New Zealand at international level and they're good at it, everyone's going, "How did that happen?" They don't they're good at rugby. What the fuck did you think was going on?
Because they had the All Blacks had one of the best scrums in the World Cup.
That's what I'm saying, and everyone's always surprised when they scrummage well, they don't play rugby in their free time.
This concept of how why we think that Kiwis hate scrums comes 100% from their media output.
It does. It's them, and
they are constantly complaining about the scrum.
And
it's always complaining about the scrum.
We've got so much to say, haven't we? All of a sudden, it's exciting. Yeah. So I think it's a media perspective. They've got these Sky-owned media outlets, and the pundits just moan non-stop about new rules introductions, how the game is becoming too forward-heavy, too slow. And we talked about it already. The game is not slowing down; it's speeding up. These rule changes are speeding the game up. What you're moaning about is all of a sudden the rest of the world is catching up to you and you're scared, New Zealand.
Scared.
You're terrified of us. Maybe not Wales.
I'm still terrified of New Zealand.
Of course we are. We're just projecting our insecurities onto them, really.
So really it's jealousy.
Of course it's jealousy. But I think it's starting to go both ways a bit, actually.
Yeah.
I don't know what it has to do with the scrum.
Yeah, it's the amount of times, every time you're watching, some Kiwi give their opinion on rugby union, the scrum comes up.
Yeah.
The scrum comes up. It's too slow. It's this, it's that.
And I think for people like me and you who are kind of rugby union purists, what we're scared of is if you keep talking that way, this becomes rugby league. And that is the last thing we want to happen.
Yeah.
Keep the scrum, keep it dirty, keep it long.
Yeah. Those guys are tired. They want to waltz over the fucking scrum.
Yeah.
They're in the lead.
Yeah.
And they're going to, take their fucking time and be dickheads.
Yeah.
Let them do that.
Yeah.
That's part of the game.
It's a big part of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's where it comes, Phil.
That's where it comes from. But, just to
human being, worthy person, Phil.
I hope he likes you, because he's not going to anymore.
I can't wait for him to
maybe there's
listen
enough
to this.
cash in the bank that's not going to upset him too much, But yeah, I think another thing I think I'd say is that maybe there's this impression that New Zealand aren't as physical as we see them play South Africa a lot in the Rugby Championship, and they're kind of like the scissors to South Africa's rock, right? They'll swashbuckle around and South Africa will dominate you physically. But, when you watch those games, it's not true.
It's not true.
It's a misconception, actually, right? Yeah. It is a misconception. And I think, those New Zealand props, they're not little guys, are they? And they scrummage just as well as anyone else.
Yep.
But we see them regularly play the most physical side in the world, which is South Africa.
Uh-huh.
So that kind of maybe that size difference or that different style of play makes us think that. I don't think I've often seen a New Zealand scrum get physically beaten up, though. So I think it's a misconception, and I think you're right. We're projecting onto how their media.
Well, the last time their scrum struggled was when they had that series with Ireland.
Yep.
And then they fixed it.
They did.
It didn't take them very long.
You can say what you want about New Zealand, they do adapt pretty quickly.
Yeah.
They do adapt.
Well, that's what you get when you're the best in the world.
Yeah.
So
they're the innovators of the game.
Yeah.
I've been a bit too complimentary now, though. I think they have slowed down in their innovation recently.
Yeah.
So,
They're not going anywhere.
They're not going. Well, they've got to, that
Can't be too nice.
Now they're just playing with themselves all the time. They're going to get worse, aren't they?
Yeah, well, I thought that was going to happen at the World Cup.
Yeah.
I think it's going to take a little bit more time. I could see them. Yeah, there is kinks. There has been over the years. Especially when South Africa left the Super Rugby, you have seen a difference.
Yeah.
There is more holes in the game for them. But for them to really I do think it's a danger. I do think there's going to be a big impact with them basically isolating themselves on a rugby island.
That's what I think.
And it is going to hurt them.
Yeah.
It will. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
Everyone can see it, right? So how long that's going to take, it might be gradual.
Yeah.
Right?
But they're not going to get worse overall because they're always going to produce high quality players because they play rugby all the time, right? But they're not going to be exposed. They're not going to have the same level of competition week in, week out. So I think overall their game might dip a bit. But another thing, I think this is what happened in this World Cup especially. You remember the last World Cup, quarterfinal, Ireland, New Zealand. Ireland were playing reasonably well. New Zealand destroyed them, right? And people are a bit surprised, but then you've got to remember, this is New Zealand. They're always going to be really good, right? And then this most recent World Cup, same quarterfinal, Ireland, New Zealand, that was a close game.
Yeah, you could see the gap closing.
And
I think the World Cup experience.
That's what I'm saying. And France beat them in the group stages, right? And South Africa, that was a good close game. South Africa beat them, right? So the other nations have caught them up,
Yeah, you're going to see. I think you're going to see in the future New Zealand walk into World Cups as. I'm not going to say I feel like they're always going to be a favorite, but it's not as auto.
That's right.
It's not as.
That's what I'm getting at. That's what I'm getting at.
It's not as default as it been in the past.
I'll tell you something. I watch a lot of punditry around World Cups, and then except for this World Cup, every other World Cup, everyone's going, oh, so and so's good, so and so's good. But I always get the sense deep down, everyone's going, yeah, but New Zealand are going to win. So let's stop talking about it. We've got to talk about something. But this was the first year where people are talking up South Africa, Ireland, and France, and I'm thinking, yeah, they've got a good as chance as New Zealand do. There's still a little bit of fear in my head going, yeah, but New Zealand are going to win. They always win. But it wasn't the case, So people are catching them up.
I wonder, having the disappearance of the All Blacks being this unbeatable team, if that goes away, I wonder if that's going to have a negative impact, or a positive impact, because beating them is the standard.
It is.
It's a huge fucking deal.
Yeah.
And if that goes away, if every other team can do it now, I don't know, the mysticism of this unbeatable team being gone.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a good thing.
Like the national psyche.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or if it's a bad thing.
Yeah.
Because I don't know.
Take it from a Welsh fan. We can like rugby and lose a lot. Don't worry.
Yeah, that's true. But beating, when you beat New Zealand, that feeling of accomplishing Mount Everest.
I think it'll be good for them because they're not the team that everyone wants to beat all of a sudden, right? New Zealand's disadvantage is they're the victims of their own success. Everyone puts on their A game when they play them. Whereas if you put on an 80% performance against another team, you could still win. You better be playing 100% against New Zealand, otherwise you're going to lose.
Yeah.
And now if teams start beating them regularly, that allure goes away. New Zealand is still going to be motivated to win and train just as hard. Why wouldn't they? It's their national sport, right? Or is sailing? I don't know, but I think it's rugby. But then, the other teams, it takes the pressure off them a little bit, right?
I think we have a lot of years before New Zealand get to that point where they're not the auto favorites.
It's going to be time. Yeah. It's going to be time. And even this World Cup, they still could have won it.
Yeah. They easily could have won that.
Made Argentina look like chumps, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They destroyed that game for me.
Yeah.
Felt like I wasted my money.
You went to see that, didn't you?
Yeah, it was cold.
So it's good for everyone if everyone else steps up to beat them because it makes the games better.
Yeah, as a fan, I don't want to see the same outcome for things all the time.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing.
Yeah.
But I don't know, that whole climbing the mountain all black is I don't know. I kind of don't want it to go away. I don't think it is. I think we're over.
Maybe with okay. So I'm going to say to anyone who's listening, who's from New Zealand, right? From your point of view, this is your national sport. You put your body and mind and soul into being a rugby fan, and that's awesome. But from an external, not New Zealander point of view, when we look at New Zealand, sometimes I think we just think that might be a bit boring to be a New Zealand fan. Obviously not for them. They love it, right? It's everything. But for us, it'd be like being a New England Patriots fan 5 years ago. It's like, you're just going to win. Why do you care?
Oh, you want them to win all the time. When
they can trash,
they can trash Namibia 120 to nothing, and they're just like, oh my god, that was the greatest fucking game we've ever seen. Yeah. They fucking love that shit.
I mean, who doesn't love winning? But from our point of view, from an external point of view, it gets boring watching them win all the time.
I don't know. I'm as a Canadian, and usually Hockey Canada just destroys everyone.
Yeah,
and I want that every year.
But
I don't want anything different.
But there's enough threat to Canada from other countries.
I don't give a fuck about other fans.
No, and I wouldn't if I was from New Zealand, right?
I kind of feel. I kind of feel how they feel. Fuck them. Who cares?
No, I get it. I get it. I'm just saying, if you were to pause and think of it from our point of view, maybe you'd think other things. But if it was our Kiwi, fuck yeah, let's win every game.
Is it good for the sport of hockey to have Canada win everything all the time?
Yeah.
No, it's not.
But you guys have got to step up and beat us. We haven't got to step down and come down to your gross little level.
Yeah, your gross little Six Nations level.
Yeah, sucks to suck.
Right. So
seriously, no, I think there was a point in time when New Zealand, and it may still be true, they were the most successful sports franchise in any professional sport in the world.
I think they still are.
I wouldn't be surprised, right?
Because let's be honest, they had I think they lost last year, or in 2022.
Yeah.
I think they lost 3 games.
Yeah, and Ian Foster's going to be crucified in public. He lost 3 games.
They lost 3 or 4 games, and they almost fucking the whole country almost collapsed.
Yeah.
So
the economy came to a standstill.
Yeah. The bar is still really, really high for them.
Yeah.
So.
And that's good though, right? They set their own really high standards, and that's cool. I like that about them.
Yeah.
But let someone else have some glory.
All right. Anyway, I think that's.
Did we answer his question?
Oh, I'll have to figure out.
Yeah, but I don't think he's going to ask us another one after the things you said. So
what are you talking about? I was fair. I was nice. Everything he told me not to say, I said. So
fair enough.
But we should do some predictions for next week.
Yeah, we've got to do our conspiracy minute as well.
Yeah, we got to do a conspiracy minute,
which hopefully will be a minute.
It's not going to be a minute.
It's not going to be a minute. It's 20 minutes.
So we got on the Friday, January 19th.
Yeah.
We have Connacht Bristol. Connacht at home. Connacht.
Yeah.
I think so. They're gonna bring this.
Yeah. I don't think it'll be a washout, but Connacht. Yeah.
And then at home we have Glasgow versus Toulon.
Glasgow.
I'm calling Glasgow too.
Glasgow. They'll be hurting. They'll be ready for a fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the first game on Saturday.
Yeah.
Well, we got 2 at the same time. I hate how they have the games at the same time.
I know.
Really bothers me. Bordeaux is going to the Bulls.
Ooh.
I think the Bulls are going to win this.
They go into South Africa?
Pretoria?
Yeah,
I just can't. I'm not going to put any faith in a French team going down to South Africa.
That whole altitude thing as well.
Yeah.
It matters.
And I think Bordeaux has won enough to...
they don't need to worry about. They can take a loss here. Yeah.
They're going to send, which is good for the Bulls.
Yeah.
And then we have Harlequins at home, and Ulster is coming by.
Ooh, that's an equal matchup.
I think the Quins got this.
I think at home. Yeah.
At the Stoop.
They're very similar styles of play, actually, I think.
Yeah?
Yeah, I like that. I'll really make a point to watch that game.
And then we have Racing 92 versus Cardiff. Cardiff's got to go over to Racing 92.
I think we're out, so we don't care.
No?
You don't think? We're already out.
They got to get a win in here somewhere.
Against Racing? Yeah, I don't think so.
No, fuck it. I'm going to call Cardiff for this one.
My heart says Racing. My head says Racing. My balls say Cardiff. I think Racing.
My left foot says Cardiff.
Yeah, I don't know. I love Cardiff, but they're not winning that game.
Oh, here's going to be an exciting game, too. Leinster are going over to Leicester.
Oh,
that's going to be a good game.
If you'd asked me on Friday, I'd have said Leicester could win. Yeah. Now I think Leinster are going to win after Leicester's pretty disappointing performance.
Man, I actually think this is not going to be an easy game for Leinster. I think the Tigers going to put up a fight. I think by the time.
I hope so. It's pretty much a capitulation against La Rochelle.
Because, Leicester's at home.
Yeah.
But I still think Leinster's going to take this.
They get a good home crowd at Leicester as well. They do.
And, they're always going to, when it comes to Champions Cup, Leinster always put out a good team. They're going to bring in some boys for this.
Yeah. I think Leinster are winning that.
Northampton going to Munster. That's another good one.
Oh, that's a really good game. God, we got to watch that.
Yeah, we have to watch that game.
What's that's going to be on 5 a.m. or something stupid?
It's on at 10:30 a.m. in the morning.
Totally watchable as well.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So,
that'll be the pinnacle of my Saturday.
Yeah. I'm Munster at home. I'm going to call Munster for this one.
Nope.
Nope?
Nope.
Nope?
Nope.
I think so. I think Munster's going to do this one.
I don't think they've got enough momentum.
Because I think Northampton's 3 on the bounce too.
Right. They're looking
so they might
electric, Northampton right now.
They might send they might rest some players for this one.
I guess
remember the Six Nations is coming up too.
That's true. I want to see a team lineup before I made it. No, I think Northampton.
Because Munster's been in a hole because Six Nations is coming up.
Yeah.
So you think that some teams that they're going to rest some players because especially like the Irish teams would rest some players.
Right.
But Munster have to win.
Yeah.
They have to win this game, so they're probably going to be going full blazing on this one. And I don't know if Northampton's going to come in
because they don't need to win.
They don't need to. So, yeah.
I don't like this idea that people throw games though.
But it happens. That's the reality of it.
No, I think they want to keep up the momentum. I think they come with a good squad and they're going to win.
The Stormers are going over to Stade Francais.
I don't know enough about Stade Francais to make a good prediction on that, to be honest.
I think they're going to win this one.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I think they got this one.
The Stormers have been inconsistent this season, but they decent win over Sale. Maybe the French home advantage. I don't know. I'm going to say Stade Francais because of home advantage, but it's not an educated guess.
Lyon going to Saracens.
Oh, Lyon have been playing okay. Saracens have been playing not so good. I'm going to go Lyon, even though it's Saracens at home.
I'm going to go Saracens at home.
Okay.
I think they've had, when a team can only take so much before they have a big performance.
That's true.
So I'm thinking...
They're wound up.
And it's at home.
Yeah, that's a big thing.
They're going to care about this.
No, I'm still sticking to Lyon. But you're right. You're probably right.
All right. And then on the Sunday, La Rochelle goes to Sale.
Ooh. La Rochelle is starting to find some serious form again.
And I don't think Ronan O'Gara lets them do the French travel thing. He's really changed that about the French La Rochelle.
What do you mean?
You know how they stereotypical the French teams don't travel.
Oh,
they don't really care about traveling.
Right. They just want to please the home fans.
Yeah. So I think he's really changed the mentality about that there.
Right.
I think La Rochelle are going to beat Sale.
Yeah, I think
at home at Sale at home.
Sale don't seem to have enough of a clinical edge for me right now.
Yeah.
So I think I agree with you. La Rochelle, yeah.
Oh fuck! Rest in peace. Bath are going to Toulouse.
Toulouse.
Yeah.
Toulouse. As good as Bath have been playing, Toulouse.
And then Exeter are going to Bayonne.
That'd be a good game. I
actually don't know who's going to win this game.
Yeah, that's hard to call. Chiefs
are hard to call. I'm always expecting the Chiefs to lose some,
Yeah.
But because they don't have all the flashing names, but they are good. I don't know who's going to win this game.
That's a good point because that home game they played against Northampton, top of the table clash, Gallagher Premiership Game of the Year 2023. I thought Exeter would win that.
Yeah.
And they were doing pretty good.
Yeah.
They were like 4 tries up. So yeah, they are hard to predict. I don't know.
I'm going to say
Exeter.
I'm going to say Exeter too.
All right, let's go.
Yeah, that's it.
All right.
And now, do you want to get into
I want to hear your conspiracy theory, and I want this to become a weekly segment where
you want the weekly conspiracy.
You get out your bong and talk complete shit at me for 2 minutes. What's going on?
You want to hear like a spooky one?
Yeah. Reptile pedophiles kind of thing.
I always get his name wrong. Fuck, I hate it when I have to bring him. What's this, Jack
Nienaber.
Nienaber?
Yeah.
Nienaber?
Yeah.
Is a South African plant in Leinster.
There it is. There it is. Yes. Juicy. Jack Nienaber is a South African plant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To infiltrate.
Yeah.
To infiltrate the Irish system.
Yeah.
Yeah. For the tour that's coming up and the World Cup.
Oh my God. Okay. Evidence.
He's got I think he's only got a 3-year contract.
Yeah.
So he's up.
It's a World Cup cycle length contract.
It's a World Cup cycle length contract.
Yeah.
And now that like RJ Snyman going there too.
Oh, RJ Snyman swooped up from Munster to Leinster.
So I don't think that's the first of South Africans, like big name South Africans going to Leinster.
Really?
Yeah, I think there's going to be a few more.
Yeah.
And then I don't know how he's going to do it, but he's going to like infiltrate the system.
Do you think he's going to play Snyman a lot instead of starting Irish locks? Like Ryan Baird isn't going to get a game because Snyman's keeping him out of the jersey, and that's Nienaber making sure Ryan Baird doesn't develop properly.
Well, if we do see that, then there's like something there.
Then it's kind of confirmed.
Yeah.
So he's got to be careful about how quickly and often he does this. Yeah.
So that's my conspiracy that he's a plant. He's a South African plant.
Yeah. And he's just leeching the Irish money.
Is it the term sleeper cell or
a sleeper cell? Jack Nienaber is a sleeper cell for South Africa.
The most obvious one.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like, there's just some things that like, you can get really conspiracy about with him at Leinster.
Yeah, you can.
He's just got access to the whole system being at Leinster.
He's got the secret Irish files at his fingertips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got them like stashed away at Malargo. So it's like...
to start blackmailing players.
Yeah, so he's selling the files to like other nations and stuff. So yeah, like that's the conspiracy of that's my conspiracy.
I think you work on construction sites too much. But actually, there's some compelling thoughts there. That 3-year contract lining up with the World Cup cycle, RJ Snyman to Leinster. Perfect. Yeah, it is a bit, eh?
Yeah.
And he went straight from a South Africa head coach to being a club level coach. Like, you could have done anything. And Leinster a good, prestigious team, but
he did. I heard an interview from him not too long ago, and he made a very compelling argument why he wants to be a club coach.
Right.
So, like,
but why that coach?
Yeah,
that
why
club?
Leinster?
Why Leinster?
Because they probably like forked out big bucks for him, and they probably came to him.
Yeah.
Right. So
when you hear about players, it happens a lot in like football, like soccer, like they'll ask a player, why this club? And they'll be like, oh, this just felt right for me and my family. It's like, bullshit, they're paying you $100 million. That's why you went. Shut your mouth. Like, that's a good note to finish, eh?
I think that is a good note to finish.
Yeah.
We went through a whole thing.
Yeah.
This is going to be our longest podcast.
Yeah, we're going to edit it down.
Have to chop it up. And
your mean comments.
Yeah. Well, if you have any questions for us, you can reach us at thefriendsofrugbypod at gmail.com.
Yeah. We're on YouTube now.
We're on YouTube.
Spotify. Apple.
We're on all the podcast places.
Yeah.
And we're also on X.
Are we?
Yes, we're on X.
Nice.
We have an X page.
I think you told me that. Yeah.
Yeah, with all our bots.
Yeah.
We have like 20 bots following us.
Hey, man. Fans are fans. I don't care.
Every day. Susan, 969999478. It's like it's
like
now
an
following
anime
you.
profile picture.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shit.
All right, guys.
All right.
Well, friends, have a good week.
Yeah. Thanks for spending time with us.
All right.
Stay warm.
Bye.